welcome to an episode of Story and Things, a podcast where we review stories
and talk about different things.
Yeah, and today Cheli and I went on a little adventure
to a beautiful place, Target.
Yeah,
it's really magical.
Where
magic happened.
We were in the same wavelength. I was gonna say where magic happened.
We went for a tablecloth.
We didn't get one.
We didn't get
Spoiler
one.
alert.
We got
four different games. No, 3 different games.
3 board games and 1 fidget.
Oh yeah, and one little,
fidgets. I love these fidgets so much. Yeah, fidgets.
Can you hear this? I don't know. Is this working?
Actually, I don't think that sound is appropriate in the first minute. So I don't think we should make that sound because it doesn't sound right.
Okay.
It's like, honey, what are you listening to?
What do you mean? It's just a fidget. What do you...
Yeah, maybe we should stop. Not today. Not in our PG household.
Okay. So we decided to get some board games related to the podcast, though.
Yes.
We thought it would be fun. In case you missed it, we did play a game on the second to last episode of season 1. We played the super fights against all of our characters to see who was the winner. You have to watch it to see who the winner was.
It was really good.
It was really fun.
That was so fun.
So we decided to get the voting game, which we will be playing with all of our characters again. Mm-hmm. And the worst case scenario card game, which I never played that one. So should be fun. Should be interesting.
It is. We also got the Guess Who.
Oh yes, we got Guess Who.
A while back. Mm-hmm. But that one is going to be interesting.
Yeah. We're going to have to guess which character we both have.
When we started this podcast, I knew we were going to be doing it for a while. I just didn't know that I would know so many characters. Mm-hmm. So now, when I don't know. When you do something that's outside of this podcast, so when I'm at work sometimes someone will say something in a certain cadence, and it'll remind me of something that we said. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh my gosh.
I'm the same way. Or I'll just think about a certain paragraph in a story. Mm-hmm. I love that though.
I know.
Always connected.
You know what? Okay, wait. Can I just ask you so far? What is one of your favorite moments from our episodes? Because I have 2.
I mean, honestly, I really loved playing the super fights. I thought that was so fun because we literally talked about all of our characters, and it was so fun to see how each of them would be against each other in a sort of battle royale, but not really. It was more versus each other. And I really liked the tier list too, because I liked that we decided that we would come to an agreement of what
that was really fun.
Of what each story was going to be rated. Yeah. Even though we both feel differently, we had to come to an agreement.
That was fun. Mm-hmm. I just think our little comments that there are so many comments that you make that I feel during the episodes I'm so into what I'm saying, sometimes I'll miss it. But there was this one comment you made on our Evelyn Hugo episode where you were I think, I forget how you said it. It was they knew each other, but then they didn't. Is that how PEMDAS works? Yes. Every single day I think about that. That's so funny to me.
Because they cancel each other out.
That one, and then there's this one section where you're really quiet, and I just go, stop it. I'm bisexual. we were talking about Evelyn Hugo.
Oh my god. No, I've told you this before, but there's sometimes where I'll have something that you said in the podcast stuck in my head because I'll listen to the episode and I'll hear your words in my brain, and I'm just like, oh my god, Cheli's so funny.
You're funny.
You're funny.
Dude,
stop.
I know.
Act up.
So, what are we talking about today?
So today we will be talking about the second and final part of our duology. We already did 6 of Crows, and now we're doing Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo.
And if you don't know, if you're new to the podcast, welcome, first of all. Weird for you to start here and not anywhere else, but you know what? I get it. I am a Leigh Bardugo stan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Major. She, immediately bought all of the books.
Yeah, so after our first episode, when we talked about her book, Shadow and Bone, from the first book in her Grishaverse, I was hooked. And I read all 3 of the books, all 3 of the Shadow and Bone trilogy. 6 of Crows took me a while to get into, I'll admit that.
Oh, yeah, and she was taking notes.
After Crooked Kingdom, I'm going to read the other books from the Grishaverse that I own.
Yeah.
So I'm in it to win it.
Yeah, which actually is a great segue to me bringing up the fact that if this is the first time you're listening to us, Cheli and I don't know how we feel about all of the books that we read. So we will have to guess what each of us would have rated it.
Can I give you a hint? I know we don't usually do this, but we had 1 thing of tequila and I haven't drank in a month. Can I give you a hint?
Okay.
Love truly wins in this one. And I think I'm going to have a lot of fun.
Is that a jab at somebody else?
No.
You have to be a fan to know what she's talking about.
We're going to talk about Crooked Kingdom. But before we do that, why don't I refresh us?
Refresh us on 6 of Crows, which is the first part of the duology.
Okay, thank you for reading my first sentence for me. This is the second book from the 6 of Crows duology. So just to mention really quick, 6 of Crows was a story of 6 thieves pulling the toughest heist of a lifetime. Yeah. And basically they were ordered by this guy named Van Eyck, this wealthy-ass man, to investigate and bring the creator of a thing called Jurda Parem to him, because Parem is kind of like a way to amplify your Grisha powers, which is kind of like magic, but they call it little science because they're just basically manipulating what's around them. But when you take Jurda Parem, it is farther than little science. Now it is something that's unexplainable. It's big science. I would even say large science, but let's not get into that.
So they were asked to find the creator, but they found the son instead.
Yes.
Because I think the creator died, right?
Yes. So they find Kuwei instead, and they're like, you know what? Close enough. Came from the same lineage, so okay.
He has to know.
So then the 6 crows end up meeting, 5 of the 6 crows end up meeting with Van Eyck. And by the way, one of the crows, he was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna give you Kuwei. But one of our guys is gonna pretend to be Kuwei. We're gonna manipulate his face because, that's how we fucking do it. And also the guy's face who they manipulated is Wylan Van Eyck, which is
the son.
Van Eyck's son. So of course he's gonna know who his papa is. So, they think this is gonna go smoothly, but things get fucked up. They are left with no money. They are left with 1 less crow, 6 of crows minus 1, 5 of crows. And they are left with no hope with how things are going to turn out. So the Crooked Kingdom continues immediately after 6 of Crows ends, where it left off, following the 5 crows who are determined to destroy everything Van Eyck is built upon. So, hurrying it up, they do end up saving the crow, so it's 6 of Crows minus 1 plus 1 when Crooked Kingdom starts, so 6 of Crows again. They end up saving her, and after saving her, they know that things will progressively get worse really, really fast. The rest of the story follows the crows' journeys to the end of their heist, to get their money, tie up loose ends, destroy Van Eyck, and stop the world from experiencing future chaos.
Because of Jurda Parem.
Yeah, because of Jurda Parem, which is the drug. Thank you. Is that good?
Yeah, that was a good summary. Okay. I like that.
I tried my best.
I really like that. I mean, the story is really dense. As we mentioned, Cheli had to take notes.
Yeah, so. Love truly wins in this one. So, we have a lot
I don't know if that's a jab at a certain someone.
Ooh, love wins.
I know why. Okay. I get it. Now I get it. Okay, so if I were to guess what you would rate this story, because now we're just going to guess. Remember,
we don't know.
We don't know. We don't talk to each other, so we don't know.
No, yeah. We only talk when we're in here.
Yeah, just this room and that's it.
Yeah.
If I were to guess what you would rate this story, it's somewhere between a...
Can you wait until I take like a big sip? Okay, go ahead.
It's somewhere between like a 4 through a 4.9.
Why?
Did you miss when you just said that you're a big Leigh Bardugo stan?
Just because I'm a Leigh Bardugo head doesn't mean that
Bardugo head?
doesn't mean that I love this book.
I'm pretty sure you did. Okay. I'm like fairly certain that you did.
Well, you know what I think about you as a person.
What?
I think with this book, you actually really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you went in with too much, like, you know, too much expectations for it. You went in and you were like, the Bardugo head in our duo is not me. But it might be. Uh-huh. And, you know, you might not be a whole Bardugo head, but you'll be a part of it one day. Mm. And I think
that's not a rating.
No, I think you gave it either a 3 out of 5 or a 3.5 out of 5. Okay. And if you give it anything different, I do think this will be our last episode. Can we name this episode last episode? Last episode? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
No.
Okay, fine, we won't.
But maybe. Maybe we will, though. I don't know.
But why don't we talk about the character tropes?
Okay, so same as the first book.
The first one. Yeah.
Found family.
Yes.
Because all of them come from very different family lifestyles. But at the end of the day, the six crows mm-hmm. become a family.
They do.
Together.
Isn't it kind of funny that when you have a group of crows, you call them a murder of crows? And they all would commit murder for each other.
Whoa, you think she did that on purpose? Wait, that's actually so smart.
It's kind
of smart.
I don't know, you kind of sound like a Bardugo head right now, so I'll let you sit on that one.
Okay, I'll sit on that one.
I love the found family trope. I have always loved it. When I started reading fan fiction at the wee age of I'm not going to tell you,
place your bets. Guess when she started reading fan fiction.
Yesterday was wild. Okay, so anyway.
I'm going to guess 9.
9? Really? Wait. When did you start reading fan fiction? 2?
I came out the womb.
I came out the womb with a phone.
With fanfiction.net open.
Wait, Mom. 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes, Mom.
5 more minutes, Mom. I'll be out later. You know, you're like trying to be like, you know, birthed, and you just see your hand just like kind of swatting away. Like, wait.
Don't. You're ruining the story.
Wait, when did you start reading fan fiction?
God. I think my first encounter was probably really young, but I didn't know what fan fiction was. I was just trying to look up pictures.
Wait,
and then
ended up... Of what?
Inuyasha.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one to start with.
I ended up in some story, and I was like, "What is this?"
Oh my God.
That was a little traumatizing, actually.
Wait, was it spicy?
Yeah. But it wasn't between him and Kagome.
Who was it? No, wait.
I was traumatized.
It was him and.
It was him and the brother. I was so confused because I was really young. So I was like, what is happening? But I remember that I didn't get to like anything too bad.
Okay. Because you had to pray beforehand.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I'm not breather. But the way that it was written was really weird to me at the time. So I remember I exited out and I was like, what the heck was that?
Oh my God.
That was my first experience, but I don't think I started reading fan fiction until I was like way older, like 13 maybe 14.
I had a lot of experiences with fan fiction probably around the age of like I'm gonna say 10, but
no, I was 11.
You were 11?
I just remembered.
I was 10, but the thing is I didn't know it was fan fiction. I just thought it was like, oh, cute story I found online, you know.
Yeah.
And the first one I remember where I was like, oh, this was written by someone who's a fan, not by the creator.
Yeah.
Was this anime that I used to watch. It's called Detective Conan, but in English it's called Case Closed. Uh-huh. And it was between 2 side characters who, you know, I don't remember their names, but it was Heiji and Kazuha, I think that were their names. And it was basically them just having sex. And I was like 11 or something.
Oh my God.
And I was so scared. I was like, this is one of the bad sites. This is a bad site. I shouldn't be here. So I read it and then like I exited out of my track phone because I have minutes. You know, I'm not gonna waste them. So,
oh my God, memories.
And so then I was like, That scared me. So then instead I just listened to my pre-downloaded song of Billie Jean 8-Bit. So, thank you. That's what I did after I read one of the most traumatizing things in my life. And you want to know what? Have you ever gone back to a fan fiction you read as a kid?
Not a kid, but years ago, yeah.
I went back to that one recently. Not too recent, but I did go back to it, and I was like, wow. It has a turntable.
Turntable. For me, it was like, wow, this story didn't hit.
Yep, it didn't hit as much. Sorry, Napolitan Girl 345.
Okay, anyway, before we keep derailing from, Crooked Kingdom, which is why we're here, is there any other trope that you can think of that is in this story?
Yes. And it's the I can fix you trope. Yeah, I did read a little bit about it being in this. Do you think any of the characters exhibit that trope?
I can fix you? I mean, maybe Kaz and Inej, but not too strong. It's like a light I can fix you.
Because they aren't there because they want to fix the person. They're there because they care enough to fix each other.
Exactly. So. And they see that they have certain similarities, so they're like, okay, well, you understand me, so
exactly,
maybe we can fix each other.
So I think it would be interesting for us to go through these characters and talk about how we felt about them.
So many.
How we felt about them before and now how it's changed.
Okay, let's start with the least important.
Nina.
That's not what I was gonna say, but okay, go for it.
Okay, whatever. I think we should start with Nina only because she's the least. Okay, I need to word this correctly because I actually do really like Nina. Okay, never mind. No, Nina.
You want to start with Nina? Start with Nina. How do you feel about Nina?
In the first book, I was not the biggest fan of Nina, only because she was kind of Matthias, look at me. Look at me. Maddie boy.
He wants to kill me, but
that's kind of hard.
I want to be on him though.
But at the end of the first book, she actually ends up taking Jurda Parem to change Wyland's face, one of the other crows, in order to make him look like Kuwei to trick Van Eck, which is Wyland's dad. Mm-hmm. And because of that, she's dealing with withdrawals in this book.
And it's really bad. She's willing to do anything to get a little bit back.
Even her Maddie boy, she'll trick him or talk horribly to him because she knows that someone out there in the Six of Crows has the Jurda Parem.
And Matthias will tell her, it's not me, girl. I gave it to Kaz. And she's like, oh, you're useless. I hate you. Mm-hmm. Whatever. Or she'll try to seduce him and she'll be like, just give it to me. Yep. And he's like, I don't have it, but keep going.
But I can get it. But I really did like Nina in this one. I thought Nina developed really well after the first book. I do have a little bit to say about the first book after reading this one, but I do think overall I did like Nina.
I was kind of flip-flopping with Nina. At first I did really like her, but then there were times where she was just a little bit annoying. I just felt like she... Similar to Jasper, they're kind of like the comedic relief.
Oh, yeah. I would agree with that.
And so sometimes I'm like, okay, what are you adding? What are you adding to the story? Yeah. And there were a couple of times where she was really annoying me in this book. But
like in what times?
For example, when she was being really mean to Matthias. Or just I guess the withdrawals, which I know aren't her fault, but still. That whole thing.
You weren't down.
I wasn't down just because I was I don't know. I guess... I expected, because she had survived Jurda Parem, I didn't expect the withdrawals. So I was like, I don't know if I like this.
You want to know something? I read somewhere that sometimes the topic of drugs and withdrawals makes people feel uncomfortable. And I'm not saying you specifically.
It did make me
uncomfortable. But it makes people uncomfortable because you read a book in order to escape reality.
And it was too real.
And it's I don't want to read about that when I see things happening outside of,
Mm-hmm. No, but I don't know. There were certain moments, I'm sure there's another moment that I'll probably remember once we keep talking about, where I was like, damn, Nina, why are you like this? But overall, I was like, okay. I did like her development. And I thought the fact that her power shifted was really interesting.
Yes,
because she lost her powers for a second, but then she started becoming a necromancer.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh my god.
Gideon vibes.
Gideon vibes. We just read Gideon.
You want to know something? If Melissa watches this episode, she hella just spoiled me for that part. Because before I read Crooked Kingdom, she was like, I can't believe Nina's a necromancer. And I was like,
she's a what?
Who dies? Who dies? So the next character I want to talk about is Jasper. Okay. Or Sharpshooter, one of the second of the Six of Crows we're talking about.
The second? Who's the first?
Nina. So we're talking about all of them.
Oh,
this is their second one now.
Whoa, it feels like we've been talking forever.
Okay, so Jasper, I kind of love him. Okay. I kind of love him. I know he's comedic relief. And honestly, there were some parts where when he talked, I was like, okay, I'm going to read a little quicker in these parts because I know it doesn't really matter to the story. That's how I felt. Like the overall story. So that's how I felt at certain parts. But I did overall like Jasper, but more because of his connection with another character, which we're talking about later.
I already know who.
But I think Jasper was a very good character only because I really like flawed characters, and all of them are flawed, but I feel like his flaw kind of hit me a little more because it's so sad. I think it's sad that he dug himself into this hole that he regrets and he can't get himself out of.
He just keeps digging, you know?
He basically owes his dad a lot of money, and he's been stealing from his dad, but it's like...
And his dad thinks that he's just chilling in college.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah, when your son's not a scholar, but a robber.
No, a gambler. Relatable. And a bad one, too.
Yeah. So, I do really like Jasper because I feel for him, and I think... I liked him in the first one, but I don't really remember what he did in the first one. You know what I mean?
He was just always getting into trouble.
But he's also a Grisha, and I really like his power in this book and how they explain it in this book. Mm-hmm. There's like one specific scene where he's not even in the room and he fucking shoots and still gets it.
Oh my god, I know.
That was so
the fact that he's always been using his power is crazy to me.
Which is why he doesn't look all dead and tired like our girl Alina in Shadow and Bone that you can listen to in our first episode of season 1 and Story and Things.
Dead and tired?
She looked dead and tired because she didn't use her Grisha powers. Remember? That's why Genya was...
I'm sorry. I just thought of that song.
Yeah, you know, she just looked dead and gone.
Dead and gone.
Oh. I hate... Can I mention something? I hate that... Ever since we started this podcast, both you and I can't stop doing the Debbie Ryan hair behind the ear thing.
Because it's so funny.
Literally, the hair is already behind our ears. So we're like, dead and gone, dead and gone.
It has to go back.
Oh. I hate it.
I just love that meme. It's so funny. Really and the fact that she did it again.
She did?
Well, she did it as a joke, which was hilarious.
Love that for her.
But I think Jasper's character was really interesting. I really liked his dynamic with his dad. Mm-hmm. I liked those scenes a lot when he was with his dad.
Me too.
Obviously, when he was with Wyland. You can just say it.
No,
you can just say it's Wyland.
You're gonna make me act up.
I really liked him as a character. I did think he was probably the most fun.
Yes.
Out of all of them. He's funny, and the fact that he does have a Grisha power, but doesn't really want to, I don't know, show it off, I guess?
Yes.
Makes him way more interesting, in my opinion.
Also, the fact that he showed more fear for the outcome of the heist, I really liked.
Yeah.
He was the most scared of everything, even though he looked the most confident.
Yeah.
Thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I think his character, like you said, is flawed, but I really like his growth. Throughout it and then at the end.
So the third one I want to talk about is Matthias, actually.
Oh, Maddie?
Maddie
the baddie?
Maddie the baddie! Oh my god. Wait. Let me paint a picture for you. Go ahead and drink. Maddie and Addie being besties.
They would never.
They would.
They would never.
A Fjerdan and a boss-ass bitch.
And a boss-ass bitch.
You know they would. You know they would.
No, they wouldn't. And we're talking about Addie from Haunting Adeline.
Haunting Adeline, I'm sorry.
By H.D. Carlton, thank you. Watch that episode. Or listen to it, whatever. How did you feel about Matthias in this book?
Let me just say that Matthias in the first book was not down. I was not down.
What a liar. Somebody play that episode again.
Okay, but you know when you sit with something, you gotta let it marinate. You gotta let it. Wait, hold on. I was gonna do that. Dude, you took it right out of my boca.
This is my brother always does that. It's so cute.
So, that was really cute. So, okay. Maddie the baddie. I was not down for in the first book after letting it sit for a while. Only because his resolution in the first book was literally, cause he was like, can't let them in, you know? I just hate everyone because of...
Don't feel concealed. He was Elsa.
Conceal, don't feel, actually.
Oh, damn, it's been a while.
I mean, I'm not only a Leigh Bardugo head, but also an Elsa head, so... Anyway.
Don't comfort me.
He was low-key just like a brainwashed shoulder?
Shoulder?
A brainwashed shoulder.
He was, actually.
He was a brainwashed soldier. And at the end, he was like, fuck it. I love Nina.
But the thing was is that I just felt a disconnect with his character in the first book because throughout the whole time he was just like, you know what? I'm here for the cause. I'm here to destroy Grisha. He was pretty much a Grisha hunter.
Yeah, he was. Okay?
Because he thought that they would get a fair trial, but they don't. Spoiler alert. And then he falls in love with Nina, who is a Grisha, and he did kidnap. Oops. And then he's like, wait a minute. Now all of a sudden, I'm not here for the cause. I'm here for Nina.
Yeah,
everything I do is for Nina.
And that's him in the second book. And can I just say that I liked him in the second book? I did like him. Okay. And I felt for him a lot in the second book.
Like, what moment?
You know what I'm talking about.
Before that.
Okay, so...
There's gotta be another moment.
I just felt for him because he's kind of just like a guy who's trying to figure out the world he didn't understand. And I think it's very cool for him to see it in the perspective of not seeing the people who he thought were monsters act like humans. So it's really nice to see him grow, you know?
Yeah.
But can I say, Leigh,
baby.
Leigh. I'm a Bardugo head, but that's not Matthias.
I don't know where you're going with
That's
this.
not Matthias.
What do you mean?
That is not the same character from the first book. You expect me to believe...
He was like a total romantic in this book.
You expect me to believe after Inej got kidnapped in the first book, all of a sudden he's completely changed? No hatred for any Grisha. And I know they mention it at one point where they're like, oh my gosh, kind of makes me remember when I didn't like Grisha.
LOL. Crazy time.
I was crazy back then.
That's not me, though. That's not me.
Do you get what I mean, though?
I know what you mean, because I agree. I did feel that his character didn't really represent the first book at all. It kind of felt like a different character.
It did.
Or at least it felt like he had this growth that we didn't see.
Mm-hmm.
Where he just realized, you know what, I really love Nina, so you know what, I'm just going to become this lovesick fool and completely forget about the cause.
I hated that.
To hunt Grisha.
I hated that. I thought it didn't make sense for his character. I liked him as a person, but that wasn't Matthias.
I completely agree, and if you did listen to our first episode, I was a Matthias hater.
You were, but right now?
You know, I'm not really entirely sure just yet, because, like we said, this feels like a different character. So, kind of a Matthias hater, but is this really even Matthias? This doesn't feel like Matthias.
Okay. I understand.
Thank you.
So our next character I want to talk about is Wylan.
Wylan the baddie.
Wylan Van Eck. Wylan be stylin'.
Oh, cute.
Okay.
You're fast.
I was gonna say I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry for what I just did.
Don't be. I loved it.
How do you feel about Wylan?
Wylan in the first book was probably, he could have just been anybody, you know? I did not care about Wylan at all.
Me neither.
In the first book, the only times that I cared about him were his moments with Jasper, and that was literally...
Jasper.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say it again.
It's hard, because, you know...
Twilight.
Yeah!
I'm sorry. Okay, E. Mm-hmm. Okay.
My favorite part was when Jasper played baseball with his boys. So, thank you. But he played with like a shotgun.
Who was catching that? I don't even know.
Wyland's just like shaking. Batter off.
Wait, that's funny. Okay, so my favorite moments with Wyland were literally just him and Jasper in the first book.
Okay.
In the second book, I did really like that there was way more to his character. Just the whole thing with his mom. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's just go through Wyland's character because I feel like he was really complex in this one.
He was.
Pretty much, him and his dad have always had this like really weird relationship where the dad was always ashamed of him because he can't read and he can't write. And so his dad was like, you know what? We're going to send you to this school. Mm-hmm. Was it a school?
Yeah. Music school.
That's right. So Wyland packs up and he's like, all right, see you next summer. But actually his dad was ready to kill him. Yeah. He sent someone there to kill him, but Wyland ended up surviving. Yep. And that's why he decided to go against his dad, right? But he never really wanted to see his dad as a bad person. No. Until he realized that his dad lied to him about his mother. His mother never died. Can you believe it? Were you shocked?
That bitch.
His mother was alive this entire time.
I was ready for them to actually see, like, a funeraria. Like, go to a funeral home.
Same.
But no. That shocked me.
I was shocked, too. I was like, wait, she's alive.
How dare he?
She's been alive this entire time.
How dare he?
Vanek? Fuck that guy.
Wait. Fuck that guy. Ding. Ding. So, how you feel about Wyland overall?
I really liked his character. And I genuinely, when that whole thing was happening with his mom, I literally thought he was going to die. I was like, oh my God, Leigh didn't really, do anything with his character in the first book. She's doing all this because she's going to kill him off. Yeah. I was like, oh my God.
Leigh.
I'm scared.
Leigh baby.
Leigh baby, stop. I'm scared.
Okay.
How did you feel about Wyland? Oh, she's getting emotional over here. Is he your favorite character? Wait.
Okay, read my mind.
Wyland is your favorite character?
Yes.
I fucking knew it.
How did you know?
I don't know. You were just starting. I mean, you almost cried right now. Stop.
I could have just cried from a memory.
Okay, so how did you feel about him overall?
I loved him in the first book. Because I love the fact that he was just some kind of guy.
What did he even do in the first book?
Exactly. I like the fact that he was like in this heist and he's like, I just fucking needed a job, man. I'm not here to cause a fucking bomb. And him with Jasper was always really cute to me.
Yeah, I agree.
But the fact that he was just some guy in the beginning, in the first book, I'm like, fucking love that for him. Mm-hmm. And then in the second book, the fact that anytime he thought of something, it was always so innocent. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, yeah, I don't want to fucking be here right now. So what the fuck am I doing here? And it's, he understood that he was kind of in over his head. Yeah. And with all the other crows who have experienced, like, a bad life, he's not like them. Mm-mm. And he has experienced, hardships, but not like the other characters. Mm-hmm. So I just love that throughout this book, you saw him become a crow. Mm-hmm. And there was even a moment where he stepped back and he was like, I didn't realize how much everyone means to me. And I don't even think they realize how much they mean to me. Because they were his first friends. Yeah. That didn't look at his disability and think, hey, this guy's like trash. They were like respectful of him and cared for what he knew and cared for him. And I was really like, wild.
Are you okay?
No. I love Wyland. That's such a good character. Good job, Leigh.
I literally thought he was going to die. 100%. I was so ready. I was like, he's going to die.
Can I tell you something?
He's going to die.
Before I read this book, I did see a TikTok with the quote that Wyland says with, I thought all of us were going to make it. And I did not know who it meant. But I was like, okay, process of elimination. It's not Wyland because he fucking said it. And I don't think it's Kaz because he's the main guy. So I was like, okay, Nina's gonna die, and I'm ready. I'm not gonna miss her much, but I'll miss the journey. And if Jasper was gonna die, I thought he was gonna die at one point too. I thought it was gonna be Jasper. Mm-hmm. If it had been him, I would have stopped reading. I can't. I love Jasper too much. I love how much he means to my boy Wyland.
Uh-huh. Okay.
That's it.
Okay, end of discussion. Okay, cool. Okay. I did really like Wyland too, though.
Thank you.
I really connected with this character more in this book.
Thank you.
I didn't in the first book.
That's fine to have a wrong opinion. So the next character we're going to talk about is the fourth crow.
The fourth crow?
Fourth out of what we're talking about. Inej.
Oh, Inej. Okay, so Inej actually gets abducted in the end of the first book. And she is known as the Wraith because she's super quiet. Super quiet.
Yeah.
And she can climb anything. Test her. She'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
And...
like that episode of SpongeBob. You want to see me go to that mountain and back? You want to see me do it again?
That was a good one. I liked that one episode. So Inej is also someone who is really religious. And she never wants to compromise herself. But when Vanek takes her, she's like, you know what? I'm going to get you back.
Yeah.
The next time you see me, that's it.
You won't see me.
You won't see me.
Because you'll be dead.
Ooh, bars.
Can you imagine this entire story? But it's Vanek doing roasts, and every time he does a roast, he self-evaluates himself afterwards. So he'd be like, Inej, more like Ian dead. That wasn't a good one, though.
That wasn't a good one.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
No,
Maybe next time don't rhyme. I don't know.
Don't rhyme, but I might. Check in with me later. Vaneki.
Vaneki? Mikey? The Vaneki.
Oh my god. Vaneki with the hair. Okay. So, is it Vanek bald?
I think so.
Aw, like Mr. Worldwide. Okay, go ahead, Inej.
So pretty much Inej is just... She's a really useful character.
Yeah.
She is really skilled with knives.
Yes.
And she's really skilled with getting places without being seen.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just really liked her development in this story, although the ending, we can discuss later.
Okay.
The ending we could discuss later.
Okay.
But overall, I feel like her character was pretty much consistent from the beginning till the end.
I think so too. And I do want to say, I do really like Inej. I liked her in the first one. I like her in this one. I liked how set she was to finish the goal of the heist. I didn't want her to be love struck in this one. And even though she did like Kaz.
Oh, yeah.
I was glad that they didn't make that her whole character.
Yeah, I agree. I was also kind of scared that... I mean, even in the first book, Kaz and Inej only had really, like, one good moment together where it was kind of like, oh, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
But in this book, I thought, oh, maybe something's going to happen when he gets her out or when he saves her from, Vanek.
Mm-hmm.
But, it didn't really...
It didn't really happen, but I was okay with it only because I understood that they both have been through something traumatic.
Yeah.
So the social intimacy is a really hard thing for both of them.
Yeah.
So I really do like Inej.
Yeah.
I think that she's a very useful character, like you said. And she is a real glue to the entire Crows. Mm-hmm. She's so good to all of them.
She's such a good character.
Mm-hmm.
And also... just to say it now, she was also in the first book in a menagerie, so she's used to people using her.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of complexities also with like her fearing that people are using her in this book.
Yes.
So she's like, do they actually like me for me or my skills?
Yeah.
Stay tuned to find out.
Yeah. Last character, last crow, last but not least, Casbrecker.
Which is probably the main crow. Right?
Okay.
I mean, he rounded them up together.
Yeah, he is the main crow. He's the big boss.
The big baddie.
17 years young.
17?
Is he 18 now?
He's probably 18 now.
Oh my gosh. Didn't know we were
grew
dealing
up
with
fast.
a full-fledged adult here.
I actually don't know.
I hate that they're young, by the way. I still hate that.
I can't picture them as
Are you telling me a
teenagers.
16-year-old is doing a heist? You know what I was doing at 16?
Crying.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for finishing my...
sandwiches.
Thank you. Okay. So, I
What? You don't know what to say about Kaz Brecker?
I just think...
Our boy, Kazzy? Brecky?
Can I just say, I do like Kaz.
You know what's funny? I just have a vivid memory of you sending me an audio message being like, I don't give a fuck about Kaz.
Me?
In the first book.
I do remember that.
When we were doing the first book, and you sent me an audio message. You were just, and this was before we decided we weren't going to tell each other how we felt.
Yeah.
So we were just like, whatever. Yeah. So you told me, you were like, I don't give a fuck about this character.
I didn't give a fuck. And you know what I want to say? It's not that I don't give a fuck about him. It's that I didn't really care for...
For what?
For Kaz.
Okay.
Maybe.
Is that past tense or is this in this book?
In this book.
Okay.
I did really like his character, though. I did not skip through his parts like Jasper, who I love so much. But
I mean, you love a character, but yet skip their parts.
Because I knew it didn't matter to the story. And I don't know if you knew, but I had a time crunch to finish this book.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Was this your last book?
Yeah. This was my last book.
This was her last book in our book read.
Yeah. And so it's fresh in my mind. Thank you. And so I knew when reading Kaz's parts, it was going to progress the story. So I wasn't going to skip. But the thing is, Kaz to me is my least favorite crow.
I felt that.
And I'm okay with admitting that now. And whenever the Leigh Bardugo heads say to me, you look me in the eyes and tell me you remember anything that man did.
That man did literally everything.
You do everything one time and all of a sudden you do everything.
Kaz Brecker is always 3 steps ahead. I'm sorry, 5 steps ahead. That man,
or 1 step, but you know.
No, 5.
I didn't even get my Aladdin joke.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was Aladdin.
Yeah.
When do we ever talk about Aladdin?
In this Aladdin cast. Thank you for listening to our 30-minute cold open. This is our Aladdin cast. My name's Aladdin and your name's Aladdin. No, I don't mean it. I do really like Kaz. He's just... I'm bad at expressing my feelings.
Okay, express them better.
Okay. Thank you. I really needed that advice. I'm sorry, Kaz, that your brother Jordy died. I'm so sorry. No, I am. I'm drunk. I can't express myself. Sorry, I'm not drunk. I am drunk. So, I'm sorry that your brother died. I'm so sorry about the Pekka shit. I'm sorry.
You can't say Pekka Rollins without explaining who that is.
Pekka Rollins is a bad bitch, but not like a good bitch. Like actually an evil bitch.
So Pekka Rollins pretty much tricked Kaz and his brother Georgie
for money
into giving up all of their money when they were really young, and it ended up leading to Georgie's death. So Kaz was like, you know what, one day I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna get revenge on Pekka Rollins.
And
that's all you have to know.
You know what? I don't think I'm explaining Kaz well. I do like him. He's just not my favorite crow.
You're really not explaining him well.
He's just not my favorite crow, but I do like him and Inej mean a lot to me. And I don't know how
is that possible?
Because I am for Inej's happiness. And I'm for Kaz's getting betteriness. But yeah, he's not my favorite crow. It doesn't mean I hate him. He's just not my favorite. Sorry your brother died.
Is he above Nina for you?
He's around the same.
Actually, who is your least favorite crow?
I said Kaz earlier, but it's not Kaz. I don't think it is. It's kind of hard because, okay, here, wait. Rank the crows.
Okay.
Welcome to our Rank the Crows Aladdin cast. So, top crow right now.
I can't tell you because I haven't even said anything about Kaz yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Talk about Kaz. Go ahead.
I think I should talk about Kaz first.
Yes, go ahead.
Personally.
Go ahead.
Okay, so, before we rank the crows,
okay,
let me just say something about Kaz.
Okay.
So in the first book, I honestly can't even remember what we said in the first book because this whole journey has been a journey. This book is literally like over 500 pages.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wild. So, buckle in. I don't think I was like a huge fan of him in the first book because I didn't really connect with him, you know?
Thank you.
But in this book, I really liked his character because I really like morally great characters usually if they're done well. And
do you think he was done well?
I think he was done really well because he was usually always 3 steps ahead. But the thing about Kaz is that he will always do things that he thinks is for the greater good, but he doesn't do it in a selfish way.
I'm sorry.
Actually, maybe it is selfish. Okay. Maybe it is selfish.
A little bit. It depends on what he was doing. When it involved Inej and at the end involved any of the crows, he was more willing to take the bad parts.
But I don't know if you remember, but there was so many moments where he would say something, like a plan or something, and he'd be like, and if you don't get it, that's on you. And if something happens, that's on you.
That's on you.
That's on you. So
also, he
was literally always like 3 steps ahead. And do you remember that somehow Kaz knew that Wylan was gonna go see his mother? Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
And it was like, how the hell did Kaz know about this?
Mm-hmm.
He was just always like ahead of the game.
He was ahead of the game.
Love that for him.
18-year-old king.
18-year-old. Maybe he might still be 17. All right, go ahead. You rank him first. Actually, can I rank him for you? Oh, yes. Yeah, I think I know.
Okay, can I correct you if you're wrong?
Top is Wylan.
No, just kidding.
Yes, it is.
I couldn't even lie for that long. I'm sorry. I want to apologize to the Leigh Bardugo kids. I do really like Wylan.
Okay, so top is Wylan.
Yes.
Second is Jasper.
Yes.
Third is Inej.
No.
No?
No, yes. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make a list of in my head. Yes, third is Inej.
Okay, so Wylan, Jasper, Inej.
Wait. Before you continue, is yours is going to be Wylan, Inej?
No. Why do you think Wylan is first?
This is a good character. I'm sorry, Inej?
Yeah.
Kaz?
Yeah. I like how you're moving
Jasper?
my head. Wait. No.
Wylan.
Yeah.
Then it's Jasper.
Yeah.
And then it's Nina. And then it's a space, and Matthias.
No. In this one, there's no spaces.
Oh.
This one, we've had a little bit of a,
Yeah, getting rid of the space bar key.
Attachment. Kind of.
But is it Nina, then Matthias?
How come you took over when I was doing yours?
I didn't mean to. I only wanted to do the first 3, but then I started getting it. I already forgot what I said.
You said Wylan, Jasper.
No, but...
For yours.
Oh.
Wylan, Jasper.
Wait, was I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wylan. Okay, we're doing Cheli's now. Wylan on top. Jasper, Inej. Nina?
No.
Kaz?
No.
Matthias?
Yeah.
Who is she? You know what? This might be our last episode.
Stop.
Thank you so much.
I like our Aladdin cast. We talk about Aladdin for 3 hours after this. So
we literally don't. Okay, so Matthias. Kaz?
Yes.
And then Nina.
Yes.
How is Nina
I really like them
after
all.
Matthias?
I said I hated Kaz, and then I said I love Nina, but Kaz is on top. Do you see the controversy? Do you see the inconsistencies I mean?
I think we're just drunk, so.
I'm sorry. I do like them all, though.
Are we missing anybody?
No, that's... Oh! Kuwait!
Who?
How dare you?
Kuwait. What about Kuwait?
I like Kuwait.
Wait, you know what's funny? I did feel really bad for Kuwait. When he started crying?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Kuwait's the son of the creator of Jurda Parem, by the way.
Yeah, so pretty much everybody wants him because they think, oh my god, we can use him for this drug or kill him because he knows about this drug. It's always about this drug. It's never about Kuwait's feelings.
It never really is. And I feel like the only time he ever acted like who he was with the crows, which hurts the most. I don't know. I really did like Kuwait. By the way, Kuwait and Wylan have the same face
throughout this whole book.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because it's interesting to see every character be like, oh my gosh, it's just so unsettling seeing both of them stand together.
It's like, who's who again?
Oh my god.
Yeah, but no, I did really like Kuwait, and we can talk a little bit more about him once we get more into the plot.
Okay.
So, what do you want to say about the plot? We don't have to go through the whole thing. The whole thing is long.
It is really long. Were you okay with the writing style of this book? Because I will say that Leigh Bardugo, I love Six of Crows. I don't remember any of it. If you ask me to explain the heist, I can't. I don't know what the heist was. It was an impossible heist.
Please don't ask me.
I don't know what they did. It
was an ice palace, I think. There was bells ringing. I actually really liked the writing in this book. I thought she did a much better job explaining what the hell was happening, because that was one of my critiques in Six of Crows, where I could not really understand what the hell we were looking at, or what was happening. There were so many moments where I was just lost with, like we already said, like, we can't even tell you what happened, really.
Yep.
I could guess, but it's probably not even right.
The heist made more sense in this book. I can explain more parts of this heist than anything I can explain in Six of Crows.
Yeah.
So I do agree with you. The writing did get a lot better, and I mean, good for her.
Yeah, I'm so proud. Her descriptions were so much better, too.
Oh my gosh. There was this one description of when, I think it's Jasper looking at Van Eyck, and he says he sees a whisper of Wyland's face. I love that. I love that.
I love that, too.
It's like, although I see a whisper of his face, his expressions are not Wyland's. And I'm like, fuck.
It's like they're not the same person.
Yeah.
Not even close. So the main points of the plot is pretty much that they get Inej out of Van Eyck's, wherever the heck they were. No,
yes.
I can't even remember where they were now.
Well, with all of the heists too, we don't have to go into specifics of the plot. I more so want to talk about certain relationships in the Crows.
No, let's just explain the plot a little bit more.
Okay.
So pretty much first they get Inej out. Yes. Right? And then afterwards, what happens? They're like, you know what? We're going to ruin this man's life.
So they know that he owns sugar shares. And so...
Van Eyck, by the way.
Yeah, Van Eyck owns sugar shares. So Kaz is like, okay, I sold everything in the Crows, in the dregs. Yeah. And he's like, I bought shares for all of our names. And what I was thinking is he bought shares under a different sugar share. And they were going to destroy all of Van Eyck's sugar, like, factories, basically.
Yeah.
In order for him to not sell any sugars. And then the shares, basically, in the other team would go higher, and then they'd be rich. So they were going to do that. And
so they wanted to make him broke, but also humiliate him and ruin his reputation.
Yes.
Because, hello, that's the best way to get revenge.
You
can't just make him broke. Who do you think we are?
Exactly.
And then afterwards, they pretty much... How do I describe this? Pretty much, they also pretended like they were going to sell Kuwait to the highest bidder. So during this bidding of Kuwait... Because remember, everybody wants Kuwait because he knows...
How to make Jurda Param.
Either that or people just want to kill him so that, you know, he can't ruin this world more. Not even his fault, poor guy. And so pretty much people started showing up in this auction place where they have a lot of influence in the economy of this world. And so they started saying, like, was it right away where they realized that Van Eyck was, like, sketch?
No, it took until someone realized that Van Eyck had given money to a certain thing, and it's like, wait, are you
trying to
helping them?
What's happening?
Yeah.
So because of this, Van Eyck is pretty much arrested. And then they pretend to kill Kuwait, which was actually a really emotional moment because they're not even sure if they can bring him back. But then they do end up bringing him back, and Kuwait, when he realizes that he's a free boy, that moment really fucked me up. It was really sad because he immediately started crying because he was like, "Oh my god, wait! People think I'm dead. That means I'm free now." It was really cute.
It was really cute. Do you think? Discussion question. Do you think Nina and Matthias were actually in love?
I think Matthias was in love with her.
I do too.
I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that Matthias really loved her. Because there was a lot of cute moments between them. Read it if you want to know. But I was just like, damn, he's whipped for her.
Like that part where she was like, why don't you kiss me? And he's like, you don't get it. Like, it has to be a whole thing. I have to pick you up.
I have to do something for you to, like, pretty much earn it.
Yeah.
And I do think that Nina loved him too, but because she was suffering with the withdrawals, you just never really know.
And it did hurt her with the end of this book. But I do think that if the situations had been different, if the roles had changed, Matthias would not have been able to bounce back from that. Mm-hmm. I don't think so. But Nina can. Maybe, but Nina more so can bounce back from loss.
I think Matthias would have been fine. He would have just, had to fall in love really fast with someone else.
You think so?
Yeah. Was it love? Or was it lust?
I don't think it was lust. I think it was, I was with you when we were about to die, and I think you're kind of cute. So
I think you're kind of cute, and you have kind of a big butt, so I kind of like you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I want to talk about the various relationships in this Crows.
Like, just compare and contrasting?
And which ones I really liked and disliked. There's one I liked, and you're not listening to me.
I already know your favorite
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
What do you mean?
I really liked the relationship between Jasper and Kaz.
Okay. And that's not where I thought this was going, but okay.
I really, really liked their relationship.
Okay, but how did you feel about those moments where Kaz was like, you know what, it's your fault that this whole plan went to shit because you have a big mouth.
Yeah, and
he does have a big mouth.
He does have a big mouth, but he also has a big heart. And
but his mouth is bigger.
It really, it was a shitty situation. And Kaz kept throwing him under the bus. Freaking, yeah, okay, you did a really shitty thing. But
Are you telling me that you didn't blame him?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying more so that I really like that no matter what, and Kaz will continue to do that because Kaz is just that type of person.
Yeah.
But
true.
I like that when there was one scene where they're arguing and Kaz is like, you gotta stop being like this, Jordy. And then Jasper's like,
oh
Jordy.
My God, yeah. Kaz was arguing with Jasper. Yes. And in the midst of the argument, he called him by his brother's name. He was like, Jordy,
shut the fuck up.
Stop doing this shit, Jordy. And Jasper and Inej and everybody else that was there was like, who the fuck is Jordy?
And Kaz for a second, because when this fight is happening, it's in Wyland's perspective. And he says, and for 1 second, if you were paying attention, you can see that Kaz's face was full of fear. But he quickly composed himself.
Because he's that type of character. He's like, you know what? I'll play it cool.
But the fact that it's like, because he sees them as family, even though he doesn't admit it. Like.
But we know.
We know.
We know.
So I really, really appreciate that relationship.
That dynamic between them.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
so
I really did too. I thought that I honestly really liked all of their relationships together.
Inej with everyone was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Especially with Nina in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Nina was really worried about her when she was abducted. And she was so happy when she came back.
I like the fact that everyone was worried. You know?
Yeah, but like Nina, girls?
Okay.
Supporting girls?
I love that. The girls are girl.
The girls are girl.
The girls are Gort.
Gort.
Thank you. Any other relationships you want to talk about? I don't know.
All right, let's first start off with Kaz and Inej.
Okay.
How did you feel about how, I guess, their journey from the first book to the second book? And how did you feel about how they actually ended?
I think that their journey was slow, but I mean, they both did go through a lot. I kind of wish, and this is just being a little selfishly, I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
I'm sorry.
Take that back.
Okay. Okay, so I did want to mention that when he got Inej out from Vanek's clutches, I thought he would be more so...
like, sweet?
Yeah.
Fluffy?
Because, I mean, the last book ended with him saying, like, I gotta get my girl back.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, hey.
I got her back. Okay, anyway.
Got her back. Don't fucking talk to me. I just thought it would have been different.
Their love is such a slow burn.
No, it is.
Which is still kind of burning, if I may say so.
But
it's still burning.
But
slowly.
The thing I appreciate is that there was a scene, by the way, where Inej was in bandages and Kaz had to change the bandages. And, you know, Kaz can't deal with touch because it reminds him of a very traumatic event with his brother.
Yeah.
And when they're changing bandages, he decides to, like, you know, changing her bandages, treat myself. So he, like, rubs his knuckles on her face. Or, I don't know, it's just, like, a very, like,
a tender
small
moment.
Yeah. And he's struggling so much, but, like, it's tough for him because he knows that it's hurting him, but he wants to love Inej, like, the way she deserves it. Mm-hmm. So he kisses her neck.
Right.
I
think so.
It's very, very small.
It's, like, fast, too.
And it's so hard for both of them.
Because even Inej doesn't really like other people touching her.
Because, you know, she used to work at the menagerie. She used to have to deal with men.
So she is used to, like, her body not being her own.
Yeah.
And so even in this book, I did really like that scene where she realized, like, oh, I don't really want him to touch me.
Yeah.
Not exactly verbatim, but she realized, like, oh my God, I would actually freak out if he wanted to touch me.
And she says, like, you know, I think of it sometimes, like, us having a perfect, happy life, but that's not possible for both of us. Mm-hmm. Like, we can't just expect for us to be in a relationship and not deal with these traumas. Mm-hmm. So I like the fact that they both came to terms with that. There was a thing, just to talk about the end, but one more thing. Kaz had mentioned that he does sometimes let himself think of certain things about Inej. Like, he lets himself, like, wonder, like, what might be. But very, very rarely.
Yeah.
But he does say that, like, he wants something with a woman who would laugh at anything you say, even if it's not funny.
He's like, but I'm kind of funny, though.
But I'm kind of funny, but it's okay. It's whatever. Her loss. But at the very end of the book, when all the evil has been vanquished, it's Kaz, who, by the way, is back in the dregs, and Inej, who has moved in with Wylan because she's waiting for her boat to be ready.
Her boat.
Wait,
doesn't he gift her a boat?
Yeah, so she basically meets with Kaz, and Kaz is like, I know you've been making your boat, but look at number 34 over there. See that little piece of shit right there?
That's yours.
Cost me 10 kruga.
10.
So you better...
10.
I got it at the pulga. So you better take fucking good care of it.
At the flea market.
At the flea market. Some guy named Josh gave it to me.
Love that guy.
Taking care of it.
Thank you.
But it was really, you know, sweet. And she was very touched by it. And even, I think they were there and he had given her something and he wasn't wearing gloves. So she was like, oh my God.
She was like, who is this man?
Hello?
Are
those fingers?
Oh my God, those are nails.
Put those away. We're in public. Put those away. Indecent.
Wait, but then he also surprised her with her family.
And he kept asking, like, is it okay? Is it okay that they're here? Do you want me to send them away? I'll just be like,
if you want me to kill them, I will. Don't test me.
I did. No, I didn't.
I mean, I have a gun right here. Do you want me to?
And we have a necromancer over there, so, you know. So, I did really appreciate what he did for her. And at the very end.
So cute.
At the very end, you know, when it's like, wait, you know, you gotta meet my family. Come on, Kaz. And he's like, wait, how's my tie look? And it's like, so funny. She laughed at his dumb joke, even though I hated that joke. I literally couldn't look at it because I hated it so much.
You were like, I'm gonna pretend like that didn't happen.
But I thought it was really cute. And not my favorite ending. I thought it would have been a little more, but I mean, it was good. I liked their relationship.
Not your favorite ending because nothing really came of it? Like,
no,
nothing
I don't mind that.
Super romantic came of it.
No, I don't mind that.
I did. I really minded that, actually.
Really?
Leigh, if you're watching this, What the heck?
Don't yell at Leigh.
What the heck, Leigh?
What are you doing to her?
This is
Stop.
This is out of love, though,
sorry.
because I really loved Kaz and Inej. They are my favorite couple. I knew you were gonna look at me like that. They were my favorite couple, and And the fact, I'm just kidding, dude.
No, you're not.
I'm
you're not.
Literally kidding.
I'm just kidding.
But am I?
No, I know you like Kaz and Inej, and I do.
They're not my favorite.
No, I don't believe you. It's April Fool's. Oops, we dated the episode.
It's actually not my favorite pair. Anyway, whatever.
Okay.
That doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Why are you yelling at me? I'm just trying to get through this episode.
Anyway.
It's a weird Aladdin cast.
What the heck was I saying? Oh, okay. So, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Not on the podcast, just amongst ourselves.
Friends. Well,
are we friends? Hold on. Colleagues.
Okay, sorry. I won't do it again. I'm sorry. I forgot our contract.
We've talked about this before. I really don't like slow burn when it's this slow.
Okay.
And I just really wanted something more between them.
Mm-hmm.
But something else that happened between them that I think is important to their relationship. Kaz does get revenge on Pekka, but not in the way that he would think. He just kind of like mentally tortures him. He's just like, hey, I kind of sort of maybe have your son in a tomb. So like
I just remembered something.
So like, and Pekka Rollins is like so traumatized because apparently he really loves his son. Yeah. So he's like, I'll do anything, bro. Anything. Name your price. I just want my son back. Yeah. And so Kaz, I don't even remember what Kaz tells him, to be honest.
I buried your son.
No, besides that, like, I don't even remember what Pekka told him where he was like, you know what, fine, I'll tell you the location.
He begged.
Oh, he got on his knees. He got on his knees in front of, like, his people, which is, like, super humiliating.
And everyone was kind of, like,
they were
thrown off.
Yeah, they were just looking at him funny. So, anyway, he humiliated Pekka Rollins, and eventually he cracked, and he was truthful. He told him where supposedly this tomb was. But joke's on him, he was never in the tomb. Okay, cool.
Kaz didn't even know that Pekka had a son. It was a guess.
Yeah, he guessed correctly because, like we already said, Kaz is always 5 steps ahead. But the reason why I bring this up is because after that whole thing with Kaz giving Inej the bow and then reuniting her with her family, Inej does something for him too. Which at first, I didn't understand it. I was like, why is she threatening Pekka Rollins? I don't understand because I thought she would go after Van Eck.
Yeah.
Because Van Eck was the one who tortured her. But anyway, so she finds Pekka Rollins and threatens him and tells him, you need to get out of town. And he does. So she did that out of love. Anyway.
She killed that bitch too.
She should have, but she didn't.
Can I say one thing that has to do with their relationship? But not really. I really liked the voice actor for the audiobook.
For?
Kaz. Because that one part where it's Kaz just trying to act crazy. Because I did think Kaz buried him.
Same.
I did.
I believed it.
Yeah.
I kind of wish he did.
Really? I'm glad he didn't.
Is he crazy or not?
Dude,
is he crazy or not?
Or not. I thought he was crazy because the way that the voice actor delivered that line, I thought, I buried your fucking son.
Yeah, he did a really good job.
He did a very good job.
No, but at the same time, Inej was right there. So that's why I was like, there's no way he actually did it.
Even Inej was like, Kaz.
Inej was like, please, come. But I like, Cassie, please. I like that Inej didn't actually say anything until Pekka was gone, though.
Yeah.
Until he was gone, then she asked him, did you actually bury him?
Wait,
and Kaz was like, maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
That's for you
to find out.
No, that's for me to know and for you to never find out. And then he's just like, but I didn't.
But I like that Kaz did something really special for Inej, and Inej did something really special for him.
Yeah.
Maybe OTP? I don't know.
Can I tell you this scene I laughed at?
What?
When I listened to that part where Inej went to go get revenge for Kaz at the very end with Pekka Rollins, The voice acting was not it. The voice acting was not it.
I feel that.
I listened to it in like 1.5 times speed, so not really that fast.
That's pretty slow.
Yeah, that's
for
pretty
you?
slow. Yeah.
That's slow.
So I was listening to it, and I was like on my bed, and I was doing work, and it's just Pekka Rollins like, I love my beautiful boy, my beautiful, beautiful boy, and then it's like a voice actor who was supposed to be the son, but for some reason it was like 5 times deeper than the voice for Pekka Rollins, talking about his beautiful boy, and then it was just like, Daddy.
I don't remember that.
It was so funny.
I don't remember that.
I'm gonna show you after this episode.
Okay.
It's so funny. I literally had to pause and I lost it. Maybe it's because it was in 1.5 times speed. Because you know how sometimes the voice is pitched different when you listen to it faster or slower?
That's true. Mm-hmm.
It threw me off. But wouldn't that mean?
Speed it up.
Wouldn't that mean his voice is deeper than that though?
Yeah, it's deeper than that if it's slower. Or in the regular speed, I
That's
guess.
so funny. It threw
Maybe
me
he's
off.
a man-child. You ever thought about that?
Aww. Jasper Weiland.
Jylan.
It's actually called Wesper, but I wouldn't know.
Wesper?
Yeah.
Okay, kind of cute. Wait, I kind of like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Cute.
Mm-hmm.
What about him?
How do you feel?
They were so cute together.
They were really
From the first book, I was like, it was really cute how their moments were more so subtle.
Yeah.
And they were slowly progressing into something.
Because they didn't want to say it.
They didn't want to say it.
No.
They didn't want to ruin it.
No.
I genuinely thought, like I already said a million times, I genuinely thought that Wyland was going to die.
Would you have been okay?
No. Imagine my surprise when
He
baby Leigh, did not give us bury your gaze. I was shocked. Shocked in a great way. In a good
She
way.
buried her straights instead.
Damn. I really liked them together because Wyland grew a lot more as a character. As I already said, we learned more about his background with his mother, and it was so interesting because Wyland didn't want to see his father as the bad guy, and then when he had that moment when he realized, oh my God, wait, my dad, he's not that great of a person, and when he started to realize that maybe his dad actually did try to kill him, that whole moment was crazy. I felt so bad for him, and just the fact that Jasper was there with him the entire time, and then that moment at the end or near the end when was it? When Wyland realized that he was gonna inherit. He was gonna inherit all this money, and then Jasper was like, I mean, I can help you if you want. I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
crazy thought, but I mean,
it's crazy. It's not about the money. It's not.
Also, I can read.
But it's a plus. I know.
I really liked them together. I thought they were so cute.
Can I tell you my favorite scene?
Yeah.
Well, you remember the part where Jasper kissed Kuwei?
That was your favorite scene?
No. How did you feel?
Oh my God, it was crazy because I was actually listening to that scene on my way to school. So I was like, oh
They're kissing.
God, he's kissing him. And then all of a sudden he pulls away and he's like, wait a minute, hold on.
Why didn't that not feel right?
That's not.
And then he sees Kuwei standing at the door, and Kuwei's like, oh no, Jasper says like, oh, have you never seen two people kiss in your land? But then the person who he thought was Wyland was like, I wouldn't know. And he's like, wait.
Yeah, he accidentally kissed Kuwei instead.
Wait, did Kuwei like Jasper?
I think he was just there for the funsies,
Okay.
He just wanted the experience.
Because didn't they say that Kuwei had like doodles of Jasper in his diary?
Oh yeah. That wasn't really developed enough, I guess, but...
Maybe like a little, but he really was there for the funsies.
He was just there, okay? Mm-hmm. It doesn't really matter. That whole scene, I was so stressed. On the edge of my seat, almost had to stop the car because I was like, wait, hold on.
It hurt.
If 2 minus 1...
Shut up, dude! I hate it.
I'm doing math equations like, wait. The eyelashes are wrong over here.
Is that stupid? If 2 minus 1 is 1 and 3 plus 4 is 7, this doesn't add up. Is it that?
I don't know. I was just going to do some stupid math equations. Anyway, just that whole scene stressed me out. And the fact that you can tell that Wyland was like Oh, I mean, you can kiss him if you want.
So sure.
You can kiss him, whatever. I don't even care.
I don't fucking care. He has like a friendship bracelet.
Fucking take this friendship bracelet, bitch.
I can't take it off right now. Just help me take it off later. It's one of the clasp ones. But it hurt.
That part stressed me out.
And it sucked because Jasper was getting hit with a bunch of things, like admitting to his dad.
Oh, and then because he got into a fight with Kaz like right after.
Yep.
I was like, damn, this boy, he's getting a lot of losses.
My God. But my favorite scene was the one where Jasper finally talks to Wylan about it. And Wylan is like, you know what? I don't even want to talk to you. I'm leaving. Mm-hmm. And Jasper is like, no, I just want to explain that I did not mean to kiss Kuwei. And it's like, oh, didn't look like it, bitch.
I didn't even ask. I
don't fucking care. And he's like, no, you don't get it. I kissed him because I thought it was you. And then Wylan's like, wait.
Well, it wasn't, so.
No, but he's like, oh. I mean, still, like.
I'm still kind of mad, but I mean.
Go on.
I'm still offended.
But I just thought it was really sweet that when he figured out, Wylan was like, how did you not know that wasn't me? He doesn't even do science. Like, how did you
That's
not
true.
know?
That part was so cute.
Oh my gosh. But the first time they actually do kiss is Wylan trying to calm Jasper down. Mm-hmm. And he tells Jasper to close his eyes. It was really cute.
Oh my God, I love them together.
As much as I love Wesper.
Oh.
As much as I love Wesper.
As much as she loves Wesper, nothing beats Nina and Matthias, apparently.
It's not that. It is that.
So, okay. Can I just ask you something? Before we even...
No, yeah, go ahead.
Before we even talk about that scene. Mm-hmm. That scene, if you've seen it, you know. Did you anticipate someone dying?
I did, but I did not guess who. Like I said, I tried guessing Jasper. I tried guessing certain characters, but I let myself read the book, not anticipating any death. Mm. I did not think it would have been Matthias.
I thought that we were going to lose 2 crows. Yeah. And I thought it was going to be Matthias and Wylan.
That would have hurt.
Yeah.
That would have hurt a lot.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like I thought about it, but then I was like, okay, no, I'll just read it, not even thinking about it. So when it did happen, let's explain how it happened first.
They won.
They did it. Good job.
They won, and then
the crows.
Fjerdan goes up to Matthias, right?
And it's a young Fjerdan. He's probably like 16.
Yeah, but he is like, you betrayed us.
You're under arrest. I'm going to take you somewhere.
And Matthias is like, by all means, take me. I'll talk to whoever your leaders are. Mm-hmm. But I just want you to know that the way you think about things is not correct.
Yeah, so he almost... It's a really sad moment because he sees himself in this kid. He's like, oh my God, this is how I used to be. You don't have to be like this. But also to note, there are so many like wanted posters all around of Matthias. So this kid, they didn't even really explain it, right? They kind of just said like a shot went off. Like you just hear a gunshot. And then Nina finds him and he's just like bleeding out.
Well, no. Matthias ends up.
Oh, yeah.
He goes back. And he's just like, Nina, love you, and kisses him. And then Nina's like, whoa, you never kissed me first.
Well, Matthias is traveling.
Yeah.
So he's walking and he's bleeding out. And that's when he like gets to Nina.
And Nina's confused. Is like, what happened? What can I do? And she's like, I need Jerda Parem. Like, I need to heal him. Even if I go through... that dying or go through withdrawals again, I need to heal him. And then he was
she's ready to die in order to save him.
He basically says, it's okay, I'm ready.
And it was really sad because he was like, just let me go.
And the thing is, Inej was also there. So after he passed, remember, Nina's Grisha powers are amplified because of the Jerda Parem that she had taken. So it's no longer little science. It's something beyond that. So she has the power to...
It's more so shifted, though. It's not amplified anymore.
No, exactly.
She hasn't had Jertaparem in like a minute now.
Mm-hmm. She basically is a necromancer. She can bring back and reanimate corpses. So she gets really sad because, you know, he dies. Mm-hmm. But then she brings him back, but he's not him. He sounds like him. Mm-hmm. But it's just a corpse that she can, you know...
manipulate.
And Inej is like, he wouldn't want this.
And you have to let him go. She tells her, you'll meet him again.
Yeah.
In another life, I think she said.
And Matthias dies. How do you feel about that?
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. Be honest. Confession session.
Confession.
I'm drunk. I'm sorry. Okay, anyway. I was actually really sad when he died because, like we already mentioned, Matthias felt like a different character in this book. Mm-hmm. He was like so much nicer. He was super whipped for Nina, super sweet to her. All of those moments where he was like, I really want to kiss you, but like not right now, you know? Mm-hmm. Not in front of all these people. Mm-hmm. And I liked their dynamic together, how she was so wild and like ready to do whatever, and he was so like reserved and more so conservative. So when he like was dying, and even the line that he says like at his death, I was like, oh my god. Okay, so I'm looking for the final moments between them. So...
Oh, you read it with really big font.
Okay, don't come for me, okay?
Wow. Whoa!
Shut up! Honestly, I used to do a really small font, but then I'd get so mad when it would take me forever to get through like another page.
I promise, Matthias, I'll take you home. You should be here with me.
Oh, right there. Okay, so pretty much when he's dying, Nina tells him, I promise, Matthias, I'll take you home. And he says, Nina, I'm already home.
It's okay to cry.
Oh my god. Anyway, he dies at that moment and she's screaming and she's like telling him to come back, and he does. But then she realizes, you know what? I should let him go.
Yeah.
Because Inej tells her, in another life, by Katy Perry. Thank you.
Wow. Inej really knows how to just slip him in there.
I'm just kidding. It was genuinely a really sad moment. It was really, really sad. Yeah, so, I mean, I was going to say spoiler alert, but, I mean, hello?
I'm trying to think of another song that she would reference.
That's it. I'm just kidding.
You gotta go your own way. High School Musical 2. You hopped in the middle of my joke.
Sorry, you want to say it again?
I mean, you've got to go in your... Okay, so any other discussion questions? What do you feel about that one quote from Six of Crows? The really famous one where Inej says, I will have you without armor, Casbrecker, or I will not have you at all. And how that didn't really come back.
We never came back to that. Yeah. I didn't even realize that.
But
I'm kind of sad because I actually really liked that quote.
I do too, but I didn't want... I did like it. Mm-hmm. I didn't want this story to become Kaz being fixed. You know what I mean?
Like a broken bird.
I was scared that might have happened. Like, he was gonna, like, kill Pecorellins, and he's like, oh, what is this?
Touching her all over, like, wait a minute. Hey, I can touch you now.
Is this what a thumb feels like?
That's not mine. Okay. I really wish that they would have come back to it. But I don't think this is the end of them. It can't be. This is so anticlimactic.
Yeah. I mean, Leigh, our girl Leigh, just revealed that she's going to write a second book to another series. So, I mean, she's done writing that book, so maybe she has time. But she's also writing the Darkling prequel.
She is?
Dude, you need to catch up.
Where have I been? How do you know that?
Because I'm a Leigh head. Bardugo head, sorry.
Bardugo head. Okay. Duke?
Don't talk about a Duke in this one. So.
Okay, anyway, that's exciting. But back to this story.
That's it.
Okay, so should we go through our ratings?
Yeah. So, what did I say your rating was? I said that I thought you were going to like it.
Oh, you said a 3.
Yeah, but like you were going to be surprised that you liked it as much as you did.
Well, you were right about that. I was surprised because, as we already mentioned, the first book, not that we didn't like it, but it just took us a second to really understand.
Maybe a few more seconds.
Yeah, it took us a couple tries. I had to read it a couple times to really understand what the heck was happening. I really liked the writing in this story. I thought it was such an improvement from the first book.
Yes.
And not only that, but I thought this story was way more exciting than the first book. There was so much action in it. And you know what else I thought was really cute that we didn't even bring up was the moments when Kaz noticed Inej completely exhilarated. Do you remember that moment when he helped her escape from Van Eck and they were like running through a freaking busy town or something and she seemed so happy and exhilarated and he really noticed the happiness on her face? I thought that moment was so cute because he really notices these things.
Yeah.
But he's also like troubled at the same time, you know?
Get you a boy that notices things but is troubled.
At the same time.
I just repeated what you said.
Anyway, so I really liked this story. I liked the relationships between all of the crows. And even though I wasn't a huge fan of Matthias in the first book, he really grew on me on this one. I was genuinely really sad. I even shed one tear for him.
When he
kicked the bucket. I was really sad, actually. Like, for real, it really hit me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. You weren't there, but it's okay. I forgive you. I think that I would give this book like a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Your turn. Imagine she gives it a 2. Whoa.
I hate this one. No, I don't. I'm sorry, Leigh. I am very proud of how much her writing has improved. I do think that her writing a heist book was probably out of her comfort level in the first book, and you can tell because the heist had nothing to do with me enjoying the first book. I was more in it for the dialogue and the characters, which is one of her strong suits. She's really good at writing dialogue.
Yeah, I agree.
I love this book a lot, and I thought the dynamic between the characters was great. I loved the characters more than I did in the first book. Mostly Matthias, who I hated in the first book, went from hate to...
Someone needs to rewind that first episode because it was not hate during that episode.
Yeah, it was.
I felt very alone in my hate for Matthias. Thank you. Keep going.
You weren't alone.
I'm sorry.
You weren't alone. I was right here, right next to you. I just really want to emphasize how important Wylan as a character was to me. But hear me out.
Here we go.
Yes, he was the best character. I know you don't have to agree.
He's not the best character.
Okay, it's okay. You don't have to agree. It's fine.
He's not the best
No, it's
character.
okay. You don't have to agree. I know that you do agree, but you just don't want to admit it to yourself right now because you're embarrassed. But I just really like how he viewed the entirety of what was going on. And even to the point of like his childish view of when they all saw that Matthias had passed, and it was just like we were all supposed to make it. And just God, that fucking line hit me. And it was found family type of shit that gets me. Even Kuwait was there when they had thrown a little like funeral, basically a last goodbye to Matthias, and even he was part of that family.
Yeah,
I loved it so much. I love what they did with the characters. I think, Leigh, you hit this one on the mark. You really did. You really did. And for that, I give you 4.5 out of 5.
Whoa, I got it. What, 2? 2. That's 2.
Did I get... No, I didn't get my... Oh, I'm bad at guessing.
You weren't last time.
I'm bad at guessing.
You're not bad at guessing.
You don't have to lie.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
I think we're done with our episode.
Yes, we are done. We both would definitely recommend you to read this duology. I mean, if it's okay for me to speak for both of us.
I mean, just put words in my mouth, I guess, but...
I mean, I think you would...
Okay.
I think you would
agree. And I think you would agree, too, that Wylan is the best character, but you don't have to make a comment.
Not,
you don't have to make a comment.
I don't think I would.
No,
actually.
It's okay.
No, I don't know. Actually, I have to think about that, but I don't know.
I'll figure out if I can mute your mic, but I want to say thank you to all of you who are listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get podcasts on. It means a lot when you listen. Mostly because we feel heard.
Yeah, and it's nice. But you know what's even better than that?
What?
Reviewing/rating. Highly, thank you.
Yes. If you want to review or leave a rating, that would be very much appreciated. Also, letting your friends and family and loved ones and hated ones know about us. Because the best way to get exposure is from word of mouth. If you are watching us on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. I would really like to hear what you guys think about the best character, Wylan, in the book. But it's okay. You don't have to admit he's the best character yet because I already know. So usually in the end of our episodes, we have a dice and we will do a dice roll. If our dice lands on an odd number, we read a negative review from Goodreads. If it lands on an even number, we read a positive review on Goodreads. We are not connected to these reviews. They are just said, and we leave them at that. If we make a face, you're making a face.
We didn't make a face, actually.
Yeah.
We never do.
And no one will believe you.
Sorry. Don't gaslight
Okay,
them.
I'm sorry. But am I? Okay.
I don't know.
So our number this week is an 8. Okay. A positive review.
All right. So this review comes from Cindy on Goodreads. They rated it 5 out of 5 stars. And they write, "This might be my favorite book of all time. It's heart-wrenching and funny and well-rounded and beautiful. The development and emotional journeys of all of the characters are amazing. I was a sobbing mess by the end of this book and my heart felt heavy for hours afterward. It is the next day and I'm still very emotionally frayed."
Thank you so much for watching our episode and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
How do you feel?
Just generally.
Yeah.
Drunk.
I don't know. I've just been feeling really alone.
I'm sorry. Did you say lonely?
Alone lately. Have you seen that joke where it's like, open up the bottle? No, it's like the bottle says twist to open up. And he twists and it's like, I don't know. I've just been feeling really alone lately.
I haven't seen that. Wait, that's really
so
funny.